pivot a bit now to a very important local issue related to public housing in Chelsea, Manhattan, and it's so great that she could be spontaneous. I have on the phone now Layla Law Gisiko, who is the Manhattan Community Board. She's going to talk about Manhattan Community Board number 4 meeting tonight. She is the Democratic District Leader in Assembly District 75A. Did I get your name right?
Yes, you did, Bob. Good morning.
Excellent. So you wrote a brilliant daily news op-ed, which put an important focus on what's underway. Give us the 411 on this. Why should we be concerned? That's an awful lot of housing. And once I see related, my radar goes up. I know it's not good for working people.
Yeah, so, this project in Chelsea calls for the demolition of 24 buildings of public housing at Fulton Houses and Elliott Chelsea Houses that, currently house, over 3,500 tenants. And, it's a total of over 2,000 units of housing. The plan actually started as a rehab plan, and I think, had pretty much the support of the entire community, the elected officials. It was, a true community engagement. And then when Related won the bid for this rehab project, very quietly and without any public input, it entirely changed to a full demolition plan that would, as I said, demolish 24 buildings that, by the way, have been found to be structurally sound. And would segregate all the public housing tenants into 6 tall towers, while with the reclaimed land, it would add market rate construction, market rate rentals in the area. I think that, it's pretty obvious it's a land grab. It is an attempt by a very savvy developer to find an opportunity to develop market rate housing at the expense of public housing tenants.
Wow. The thing that is so concerning to me is anyone who's been on the planet a little while knows that when you demolish on this scale, the individuals, no matter what the guarantees are, you have to know how fragile the life is of people that have managed to hang on in New York City if they qualify for NYCHA housing. Take us inside the fact. I mean, we're really talking about putting these people at risk of joining the ranks, the ever-growing ranks of the homeless, right? I mean, let's just take the frosting off of it. I mean, that's what we're talking about here.
You're absolutely right. And you know what? The cruelty of this project is that the first building to go down and the first tenants to be relocated are actually the tenants from the senior building. The average age, I kid you not, in this building must be around 86. People who are in their 90s, centenarians who live there. If they survive one move, they're not going to survive the second. There is something so incredibly cruel about it. And you're correct. Statistically, we know that, once you start moving people out of their homes, the likelihood for them to come back actually dwindles. Some of them actually are self-relocating. They're like, we can't take it anymore. We'll move elsewhere. And then you have, people who are really literally at risk of becoming homeless.
And so if you could talk about the intersectionality between campaign finance and the tremendous power that Related has to really tell New York City what to do. Let's just be honest here. I mean, at my advanced age, I don't have time to kind of like, just not deal with reality. This goes on all over. This happens with the private sector. And we're seeing now, though, what's tragic about this and really needs to be, people really need to come. And I mean, labor's got to step up here. This is something where this kind of undermining, and we see this unholy alliance between big money, development. It has really defined in my lifetime New York City real estate, so that working people, civil servants, even with 2 civil service incomes, you have to go west of the Delaware sometimes. And yet, and so do you have any feeling about the city of Yes in this mix? I mean, is there a connection here?
Oh, absolutely. A couple of points. The first one is that, this big grand vision of demolishing and reconstructing hinges on basically privatizing public housing. And as much as, it's happening in Chelsea, the truth is this is the roadmap for the entire portfolio of public housing. And the goal here, and it's been stated, actually, the chair of NYCHA has, said so much, almost in so many words. This is the blueprint. And the way it works is that instead of giving the federal subsidy to NYCHA for NYCHA to manage and, operate these buildings, you have, this rat-packed program that basically allows a private developer to step in, receive the federal subsidy, except that the subsidy is no longer this pittance that, the federal government gives to public housing, but becomes fair market rent for operating the building. So it is incredibly lucrative for the developer with public funding, once again, with public funding. And now the problem is that, public funding is at risk, but of course, a company that, like Related, has tremendous lobbying power, and they've actually told us, once again, in so many words, that they've been assured that their subsidy is not going to be in jeopardy. So it is going to be an incredibly lucrative proposition for them for as long as it lasts. And then if it no longer is lucrative, they'll pack up and they'll leave. And they're going to leave these buildings unmaintained, unmanaged, and this is a real concern. But furthermore, as you're mentioning the city of Yes, the developer and NYCHA actually presented a plan that under the city of Yes zoning that was just passed last year would actually permit the demolition and reconstruction of, this massive scale without any discretionary action, meaning that it would not have to go through ULURP, this, complicated land use review process. The council member would not have a say. The community board would not have a seat at the table. And this is a real possibility that now you're going to manage and push this entire process without a single opportunity for the public to comment.
Oh, this is just incredible. And this is all happening at the federal level. Section 8 and every other form of support is being eliminated. So it sounds like you need to come back. Give us the details of what you're trying to do. What's the coordinates of the event you want people to show up at?
Yes, absolutely. So the event is tomorrow, Tuesday. It is organized by Community Board 4 in Manhattan. The location is the Hudson Guild. That is actually the community center inside the Elliott Chelsea houses. The address is 441 West 26th Street. There is also an option to join via Zoom. And if you Google Manhattan Community Board 4, you will find the link and the information on their very well put together website. I really urge anyone and everyone to attend this meeting and to speak up and to speak against demolition. The key here is really to not let these buildings be demolished because, once the building is demolished, even one building, once the hole is in the ground, the developer will have the upper hand to continue to negotiate and squeeze and get a deal that would be even worse. And it is already incredibly bad. We don't want it to become worse. Demolition must be stopped. And I'm really urging anyone and everyone to come and rally and support our effort.
So, Layla, I'm going to extract a commitment from you if possible next Monday. Let's commit an entire half hour and let's bring the voices that are in the direct line of fire of this reactionary policy. Can we do that?
Absolutely. And I will add one thing. We actually have started a GoFundMe campaign because, believe it or not, those tenants who are being relocated do not have legal representation from NYCHA or from anybody else for that matter. It is just shameful. So we took it upon ourselves to raise funds so that these tenants can have the legal representation that they deserve. Hopefully people will, Google it, find it somewhere. Hopefully we can post it somewhere. but we really need all the help that we can get.
Well, listen, I want to thank you so much. That's Layla Law Gisiko. She is the district leader of District 75 Democratic Party. Thanks so much. We'll follow up later this week.
Thank you, Bob.